Strohs.
Going with some studying done.
Come on, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! Alright, okay. Alright, okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Grown music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPEN.
Frappuccino.
Nope.
Paul.
That's kind of cool, right?
I help the next person in line. Hi, how are you paying?
317 is total today, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, the second people come today.
Great, next time you're calling about the question, right?
Oh, I've got 12 hours. Vanilla beef frappuccino?
I've been drinking. I get filthy when I look at it.
Starbucks, what most college students and professionals need to start their day. Where a tall iced coffee in a venti cup with extra ice, 3 pumps of hazelnut, 2 pumps classic, and an inch of non-fat milk with a dome lid and venti-sized straw is a regular drink. Where did this coffee obsession come from? A man named Howard Schultz joined the Starbucks company a year after it was founded in 1983 and brought his ideas of Italian coffee bars and a romantic atmosphere to the table. He wanted to make customers feel relaxed in a community where they could have casual conversation with strangers and have a getaway from it all. Since opening its doors, they have expanded the company into 62 different continents with more than 19,000 stores. How does the company continue to thrive and expand? Starbucks offers a great variety of drinks, including coffees, teas, frappuccinos, specialty bottled waters, and many more. They also have a food menu containing sandwiches, prepackaged meals, baked goods, and other snacks. Aside from their menu, Starbucks offers a friendly staff, relaxing music, and comfortable seating. Let's take a look at what one FSU student has to say about Starbucks.
Okay, so how many times a week would you say that you purchase something from Starbucks?
Just every time I go to the library, which is pretty much like once a week.
Okay. And how many times a week do you go to a coffee shop other than Starbucks and purchase something?
I usually don't go to other coffee shops besides Starbucks.
Okay.
Ever.
What do you like the best and the least about Starbucks?
I like the best about Starbucks. I don't know. I don't drink any other coffee but Starbucks just because it tastes really, really good. What I don't like about it, I don't know. It's kind of expensive.
Okay. So, going back on what you said about the prices, if the prices were to increase further than they already are, would you still purchase their product?
If it was like $1 or $2, I'd probably still buy it. But if it was like $10 for a cup of coffee, I'm not going to buy that.
Okay, so would you not purchase it at all if it increased? Like, let's say it went up $3. Would you purchase it at all or less
I'd
frequently?
probably buy it less frequently.
Okay. What drew you to Starbucks in the first place? Do you remember the first time that you ever purchased something?
Well, my friends all went to Starbucks, and they were like, "Oh, you have to try it." So that's that.
Okay. So since you said that you go to Starbucks when you study, how does it affect your studying habits? Does it keep you awake, or do you get distracted by the coffee?
I guess it keeps me awake sometimes, but if it's like in the middle of the day, like right now, it's just I want Starbucks because it tastes good, not really because it helps me study.
Okay. Thank you.
In the 21st century, it seems that no one can get along without their daily double low-fat latte, or one of a dizzying array of caffeinated pick-me-ups of choice.
And Jenny, you have a grande peppermint non-fat light with mocha.
And no one company sells more coffee drinks to more people in more places than Starbucks. Starbucks has more than 13,000 stores in 39 countries around the world, and it opens a new one every 5 hours, 24/7.
Starbucks attracts 44 million people a week.
Thank you.
Americans have always liked their coffee. They drink about 330 million cups of the stuff a day, enough to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool 35 times over. Just a couple of decades ago, a cup of coffee cost around 50 cents and often tasted just what it looked like.
Have you had one of these yet? Oh, this is mocha coconut frappuccino. Thank you.
This is the man who changed all of that. The man who discovered a way to charge $4 for a cup of coffee. One might call him the star of Starbucks, the company's chairman, Howard Schultz. He remembers the first time he walked into the original Starbucks in Seattle, Washington. It was 1981.
When I walked in this store for the first time, I know this sounds really hokey, and I knew I was home. I can't explain it, but I knew I was in a special place, and the product kind of spoke to me. And to be honest with you, when I first came out here, I had never had a good cup of coffee. I met the founders of the company and really heard for the first time the story of great coffee.
Back then, Schultz was a 30-year-old appliance salesman from New York, and Starbucks had been around for 10 years in Seattle. Schultz wasn't in at the birth of Starbucks. He learned to appreciate the better beans in life from the company's original owners, old college buddies Jerry Baldwin and Gordon Bowker, and their neighbor Zev Siegel, three friends who founded Starbucks in the early 1970s.
I'd say we were all about 27 at that time, and the subject of business kind of interested us. I wouldn't say it consumed us at the time, but we began to talk about ideas.
The three men loved fine coffee, but couldn't find any in their adopted city of Seattle.
When you went to a supermarket in 1970 and wanted to buy coffee, this stuff was all in cans. This was not very good coffee by today's standards. And there wasn't a single store in Seattle that would be called a gourmet coffee store.
So they started up the Starbucks Coffee, Tea, and Spice Company in 1971. They learned the secrets of roasting beans from the man who supplied them to the young entrepreneurs in the early years, Alfred Peet. Peet's Coffee and Tea Leaves was based near Berkeley, California. Starbucks in Seattle reflected the slightly hippie aura of the back-to-real food movement that began in California.
It's actually very tied to the 60s counterculture movement. Because at the same time we started getting into decent coffee, we started getting into whole foods and real food, so to speak. And so that's actually where it started, I think, is this idea of food should be real food. It shouldn't be ground up in a can sitting there for 27 years.
An early picture shows the three founders in long hair and aprons standing by bins in their new store.
This place just reeked of coffee. You knew immediately you were in a coffee store before you saw the beans. Also, a nice feature of this store is that it had along one side a beautiful old brick wall, and so it had a sort of a grounded feeling to it.
The owners built the original Starbucks with their own hands. Sweat equity was a substitute for their lack of capital.
We built the fixtures for the first store. We built the shelving system, we built the coffee bins, there was a logo element that wrapped around the room in the first store front, and we built those, and we even built the exterior signs.
Popular lore says that the company is named after a Starbuck, the first made in Herman Melville's Moby Dick. But the real story behind the name comes from an old Mount Rainier mining camp.
Starbo, which is a name that Gordon Bowker found on a map. Somebody suggested, just off the top of their head, that maybe we should also look at Starbuck. And that mutated into Starbucks without the apostrophe. Surely, on a subliminal level, we were influenced by the character in Moby Dick, or, there could have been other associations, too.
They also came up with the company's ubiquitous mermaid logo.
The mermaid is part of the seafaring heritage of coffee coming to America, and it comes by boat. It's really a two-tailed siren that's been reshaped over the years.
The original mermaid icon survives only at the original Starbucks. Over the years, her bare-breasted contours have been transformed and covered up.
Well, over the years it became politically incorrect, and so we have took the liberty of refining her.
For merchants like
With nearly 20,000 stores in 58 countries, Starbucks is the largest coffeehouse company in the world. The first store was opened in 1971 in Seattle and was relocated a couple blocks down where it remains there today. The Starbucks logo is widely regarded as one of the most popular and instantly recognizable logos in history. The earliest version of the Starbucks logo was introduced in 1971 when the store opened, and it was based off the Greek mythological mermaid of the Siren. The design was intended to symbolize the overpoweringly attractive and almost seductive quality of the coffee. However, throughout the years, the logo has undergone many changes, including turning green. This was supposed to symbolize the growth, prosperity, and rapid growth of the brand. What is interesting about the siren is that in mythology, its actual meaning is obsession and addicting. Any coincidence of how many people are obsessed with Starbucks? The controversy of the developing logo and the removal of the Starbucks coffee text is that the brand is not even being advertised. The argument against that, though, is that the brand is so popular and recognizable that they do not need the words.
Okay, why do you think it is that you get Starbucks every day?
I get Starbucks every day because it tastes good, my mom gives me gift cards, and it's something that gets me out of bed in the morning, gives me the energy to go through the whole day.
Yeah, a lot of times when you get up in the morning, like you want to just go right back to sleep, but if you know that, oh, I'm going to go get Starbucks coffee, it tastes really good, it gives you a reason to get out of bed and go on with your day.
Like an incentive.
Mm-hmm. The Starbucks prices were too expensive?
Yeah, Starbucks is definitely really expensive, but they have a great loyalty program, and like I said, I have gift cards, so I mean, it just works out.
And it's definitely expensive, but it's a lot cheaper when you think about it, that you have to get in a car, go drive to a different coffee shop and bring it back. It's just faster and more efficient.
Why do you think Starbucks inherited the stereotype of a place where white girls go?
I think because everybody posts on Instagram that they went to Starbucks, and girls like post pictures holding up Starbucks, and they all like flock there and hang out there, that it just created a stereotype.
Yeah, I mean, girls don't really like the strong coffee taste, and Starbucks is really good at making their drinks more like a milkshake rather than just coffee. So that's why they probably picked that over something else.
Do you see Starbucks as an American icon or trend?
I definitely see Starbucks as American icon or trend, because little kids, you show them the Starbucks logo and they would know that it was Starbucks immediately.
Yeah, the logo is one of the most recognizable things in America. Like, if they see that just driving, they know that that's Starbucks. Like, and without, like, you don't have to be old and educated just to know that. So.
Why do you think people always go to Starbucks instead of other places?
I think because of the whole Starbucks is convenient. They're located at almost every street corner in big cities, and they're just all over the place in general. And then people really like the taste of their drinks, and it's just an American icon.
Yeah, it's almost like it's the popular thing to do. Like, why does everyone have an iPhone? Because everybody has an iPhone. So when you think what kind of coffee do you want, you go to Starbucks.
Do you think that Starbucks will gradually fade away in favor of some new coffee house?
I don't think it will. I think they'll keep up with trends, and I mean maybe in like 20 years or something, but I think the next 20 years Starbucks will remain popular.
Yeah, I feel like Starbucks has solidified itself as the #1 place to get coffee, and I don't see anyone else taking its spot for a while.
Yeah.
How long have you been going to Starbucks?
I've been going to Starbucks probably since like middle school or something. I remember going there and hanging out with my friends in one of the shopping centers that had a Starbucks, probably middle school.
Yeah, I've been going since I was 11, and that's probably why I'm 5'10" now.
Do you think that the popularity of Starbucks has been growing over the past couple of years?
Yeah, I definitely think it got more popular over the past few years. Because like in high school, when we were in high school a few years ago, I remember it got really popular. And people carry around the drinks and just feel cool with their Starbucks.
Yeah, I think it'll continue to grow in popularity, and it's really grown in like the past couple of years, so why would it stop now? So, yeah. Hi, Tara.
Okay, so So the goal is you gotta try to get the order right. Okay. Okay, you gotta repeat it back to me. What's your name? Jessica. Jessica. Nice to meet you. Don't mess up. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Dang, that was so good. I think I need to buy myself a Starbucks. Justin, you ready for it? Well, yeah, I need a tall cappuccino, a short one bonito, a peppermint tea, make it hot. I need a white chocolate mocha, and make it like a nougat, with extra whipped cream on the top. I need a latte skinny with lunch, chicken panini, venti, caramel macchiato, and that's all I'm talking about. I'm a Starbucks fiend, I'm a Starbucks dream. As soon as I love the world singing the Starbucks theme like, oh, oh, tell me what you put in my cup, cause I think I'm in love with your Starbucks. Oh, oh, got me all addicted and stuff, I just can't get enough of your Starbucks. Oh, oh, tell me what you put in my cup, cause I think I'm in love with your Starbucks. Oh, oh, got me all addicted and stuff, I just can't get enough of your Starbucks. Did you get it? Tell me, did you get it when I spit it? Were you with it? Tell me you ain't gonna forget it. Oh, do you need it? Tell me, do you need it? Print it off so you can read it, or do I need to repeat it? Oh, I don't think they heard you. Oh, I don't think they heard you. I don't think they seen your YouTube vids. Guess I gotta break it on down for the kids like, oh, tell me is it slow enough? Cause I think I'm in love with your Starbucks. Oh, oh, I don't want my order messed up, I just can't get enough of your Starbucks. Oh, oh, tell me if I sing it like that with the beat in the back, can you start us? Oh, oh, cause I don't wanna have to come back and let you see how I act in your Starbucks.
That took so long. Y'all want to hear that?
Huh?
Okay. So I got a tall cappuccino, a short cappuccino, a peppermint tea hot, a white mocha with extra whip, a tall skinny latte, chicken panini, and a venti caramel macchiato. She got
all of it.
She got all of
Yes. Alrighty then. Starbucks people, quality. What can we say?
Thank you, Starbucks.
How much is it? I'm kidding. Thanks.
Habit number 1, have an irrational hatred towards other coffee brands. Habit number 2, share your misspelled names on Instagram. For example, Michelle, Ingrid, Erin, Amy, and last but not least, Anne Louise. Habit number 3, flaunt your gold membership card.
2011.
2010. 2009.
Habit number 4, be eager to try new specialty drinks. Habit number 5, be OCD about lining up the sleeve and cup logos together. Habit number 6, anticipate the arrival of the red cups. And if they're not there yet, start drawing. Habit number 7, be proud of using a Starbucks sleeve. It reduces raw fiber materials by 34%, a saving of nearly 100,000 trees per year. Habit number 8, be fascinated with the cup size names like Tall, Grande, and Venti. Habit number 9, you know exactly what drink you want, like a triple tall 4-pump soy, no room 200-degree Americano misto. Habit number 10, have an unexplainable love for the red cups.
Did you finish that midterm?
No, what about you?
Dude, it was so hard. I had like no time. That was weird.
That's the second time today.